Hey there, Paulette Roy here. I'm a health and wellness consultant from Naples, Florida. And today I have what I think might be something fun for you to learn about. Here's a question for you. Have you ever considered what would be the benefit of putting all the food you eat in the fridge? So anyway, the other day, my husband Ron and I were looking at the coffee supply we have. And I asked the question to myself, I wonder if I should throw this in the freezer because I have become a K-cup user, right? And I have all this wonderful coffee. This is organic coffee, right? So anyway, I went online and I found out that you should not refrigerate your coffee because it reduces the effect of that wonderful coffee flavor. And if you put it in the fridge, it may even adopt some of the other flavors that are in the fridge. And who wants garlic tasting coffee? Well, at least maybe some connoisseurs nowadays would like it, but I certainly do. So then I went on and found other foods that should never be refrigerated. And I gotta tell you, I was really shocked. And you may find this surprising yourself. I hope so anyway. So anyway, one of the benefits of learning about this is that it increases your absorption of potassium. Now we all know potassium is good for us and whatever, but the benefits of having all the potassium that you need is this. It's important for muscle contraction, it's important for your heart rate, it's important for the connection between your nerve endings and your pulse. It's also important, an important nutrient to prevent calcium from being leached out of your bones. Pretty important for most of us women, wouldn't you say? So anyway, I found, interestingly enough, the 7 foods that you should never refrigerate. And I'll tell you, I was surprised. The first one was sweet potatoes or yams. And I know there's a whole discussion around yams, sweet potato, but just take my word for it. They're just about the same. And what was interesting when I learned this is it brought me back to when I grew up as a kid. My father's mother, my grandmother, had a farm, and they had this wonderful root cellar that I loved to be in. And down there were all the root vegetables, and of course sweet potato and white potato were down there. And now I know why, because you want to keep them in a cool, dry place so they don't lose all the nutrition and lose that taste. Have you ever had a sweet potato tasted like nothing? Yeah, for sure. And it's full of potassium and B6 and lots of great nutrition. And guess what else? Fiber. So if you're someone who's looking to lose weight, especially before the holiday season begins, well, what you want is to eat sweet potatoes like this because it's full of fiber. So what else is full of fiber? Here's another shockaroonie, which I was really surprised. I love avocado. And I mean, that is today the superfood, right? And so I used to throw it in the fridge because I wanted it to last longer. So then I realized that you lose a lot of the nutrition. Now, why this is such a perfect food? Because obviously there's a lot of carbohydrate in it, but there's also fiber and fat, an important combination of nutrients, all very beneficial to your body. So I'm going to tell you in a second what happens when it's like at that point where it's getting too soft. And by the way, this is a Hass avocado, and they're very different kinds, but I love the Hass. So the other one, now this was I kind of knew this. You don't put bananas in the refrigerator. But I never realized how much nutrition you lose. Because if you leave it out, it continues to, I don't want to say grow, but it continues to have more nutrition in it. So, but here's the thing. It adds a lot more sugar. So I have 2 bananas here. One, as you can see, is getting black or whatever, and it's full of sugar. And this one is green. So if you're someone that wants to reduce the effects of the banana, because they can be considered high glycemic, and by high glycemic I mean it pushes up the insulin and converts the food into sugar, right? So what you do is you buy it green, and for you dieters out there, cut it in half, and then here's the secret to lowering the glycemic index on this thing. Add peanut butter, or have a hard-boiled egg with it, add any kind of protein. Now, let me just show you the way I do this. So these avocados are quite soft, so I cut them in half, and then I cut them in quarter. So here's what I do. I take this little banana, this is a half of a banana, and I throw this in my handy-dandy little blender. And then I take a quarter or half, in my case it's gonna be a quarter, and I'm gonna throw this avocado in there. And then, remember I just said you wanna combine it with protein? Well then what you do is you combine it with protein powder. Now I'm gonna recommend that you guys use at least 20 grams of powder that has 20 grams of protein, right? And you throw that in there, and you can throw some ice in. You turn this on. I'm just going to turn it on a little bit just to show you it really does work. Turn my little Vitamix on, turn this on, and there it is, right? You mix little puppy up, and boy, have you got breakfast for on the go. And let me tell you, I know still a lot of people that skip breakfast. Please don't do that. Your body needs that fuel to get through your day, okay? So here's another one that's high in fiber. It's tomatoes. Now I kind of know that. I don't like putting my tomatoes in the fridge, but I know a lot of people who do because they want to extend the shelf life. But here's the thing, you reduce all the nutrition in it. It's got vitamin C, lycopene, which is really important. And so if you want to preserve the nutrition in your tomato, don't refrigerate it. Now, very often, like for today, for my lunch, I cut it in half. Once I cut the sucker in half, I'm throwing it in the fridge. Otherwise, it gets all moldy and green, which of course is not very healthy. So here's another shock. I have been refrigerating my apples for years. And by the way, I love throwing them in my blender. But here's the thing, it's the same principle. You are losing the nutrition that comes from this apple. We all know it's high in fiber, vitamin C, really good for you. Apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? But here's the thing, I don't like it mushy either, and I bet you, a lot of you out there don't like mushy apples. So here's what you do. You get up in the morning, you're gonna have your cup of Java, right? And I love my daily Java right here. And then what you do is you put that apple in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or so, and now you've got a nice crisp apple to make your day. Finally, let's see, I've gotten my coffee, the sweet potatoes, the avocado, banana, tomato, apples, and finally, here's another shocker, onions. Now, I know a lot of people out there don't really like their onions, right? But I'm telling you, there's so much great nutrition. I did a little research on it. It's amazing. But here's the thing, the nutrition in the onion comes from eating it raw. Now, Ron loves them raw. I'm not so much a fan, right? So here's a great recipe that I found that you can, you don't want to get it to the point where it's, I know you've all sauteed it with olive oil, right? Well, here's the thing, once you caramelize it, all the nutrition is gone out of it. Tastes great, but nutrition's gone. So here's a quick little recipe. You slice it and let it soak in water for about 5 minutes. Then you heat up a pan and you put you get it boiling a little bit. You put your sliced onions in there and you put a little bit of olive oil in there. Depending how many onions you use, but say for the sake of conversation, I might put, with 3 onions like this, these are rather small, I might put a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil in there. And then you've got just a little bit of water. I'm talking like 5 tablespoons of water. And you put a cover over it and you just kind of gently saute it. This way you're not killing all the nutrition that you want from your food, right, from your onion. So that's it for today. The next thing you want to do, of course, is get a little handy-dandy basket. I love this one. And everything is going to go inside my basket because from now on, since, I'm a foodie. I don't know about you, but I'm a foodie. I'm going to put all of this into my basket, and this is going to remind me that this is the way I want my nutrition to look. So that's it for today. If you like what you're seeing, look at that hashtag, take a look at it, see if you'd like to come and visit. I do have a wellness page, which I would love for you to come and visit and get to know you. If you have any questions for me, I just love being able to coach people, and that's who I am, Coach Paulette Roy. So that's it for today. Like or make a comment below. I really would love to hear from you. So that's it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. If this happened and didn't work.